Hey everybody, we're back. It's time for the final video going over the skill trees that Amara has in the video game. I hope you're doing good. Phasegrasp is the skill tree we're covering today. Now, this is the one that I've kind of waited until last to do, because this is the one that everyone was sort of like, oh, so it's basically just Space Bakugan, and like I honestly didn't, I don't know. But after I found out that in the phase cast tree, there's a skill that phase locks things, an action augment, it made me really intrigued to see what's going to make this different. So without further ado, we shall get into it. Phasegrasp. Amara summons a giant fist that bursts from the ground, locks targeted enemy in place for a few seconds. Some enemies are immune to being grasped, take instant damage instead. Skill duration is 7 seconds, cooldown is 13, and grasp immunity damage is 66. Okay. Good start. I accidentally muted my music. You ever go to change a slide and then mute your music instead? This is the high quality content that I know you all are here for. Okay, just listen. All right, just come on. Steady hands. Amara gains increased weapon handling and accuracy. This stacks up to 3 times. Handling is 12%, accuracy is 10, so I assume 36-30. Anima. Amara's element skills deal increased damage over time and have increased duration. Her action skill element effect deals increased damage as well. Elemental effect damage is 2%, duration 10%, action skill augment 3%. This stacks up to 5. So right off the bat, I think that this is going to be the skill tree that you're going to want to use if you like dots. More dots, dude! You gotta do them. More dots. So we're talking about stack of 5, so we're looking at duration maybe going up to 50%, effect damage going up by 10%, action skill element maybe even going up by 30, which is intense. Fusion, convert a portion of damage dealt by Amara's weapons into her action skill element. Now wait a minute. Okay. So this stacks up to 5, so I assume damage conversion goes up to 20. So this allows you to cross damage enemies with your action skill augment. Effectively. Okay, so I'm laughing right now because effectively what this skill is going to do, okay, is it's going to allow you to get a Mollywan gun that's got 2 elements on it, and then if your action skill's a 3rd, you're going to be rocking 3 elements at the same time. This is exciting. So you know, if you have a Mollywan that has arc, or it's fucking Destiny elements, man, has electricity and fire, and then your action skill element is corrosive, you're covering all of the damage bases at the same time, which is fucking incredible. I love this. So far, so good. Wildfire. Whenever Amara applies elemental effect to an enemy, it has a chance to spread to nearby enemies. Stacks to 5, so I'm assuming 40% spread chance. So now you're starting to infect the entire field at the same time. Illuminated Fist. Amara gains increased melee damage, and her melee damage is converted into her action skill element. Okay, so this is a passive ability, so now all your melees do more damage, and they deal elemental damage instead. So, again, now you can have atomic punches, or radiation punches, caustic punches, fire punches, element punches, dude. This is the Elementalist tree, bud. Tempest. Amara deals increased elemental and shock elemental damage. Shock damage is further increased, so stacks to 5, so maybe shock 40, maybe element damage 20. This is sick. Soulfire. So this is where you get the fire augment for your action skill. Action damage converted to fire skill. Fire wants to be free. Lure. This is an action skill augment. We saw other references in the other trees to this. So Amara's action skill creates singularities that pull in enemies. Decrease overall damage, duration of 2.5 seconds. So not everybody get up at once. So this allows, so this will feel similar to, you know, a action skill Maya had. So this, you're gonna lock them up and it's gonna fucking pull everyone together. And then, you know, of course, your action skill is doing your elemental damage, which is also spreading the elemental damage, which also has increased duration, which also has increased damage. So, you know, so, you know, just hashtag just siren things. This, Jesus Christ, dude, she's so strong. Dread. Amara's gun damage is increased for a few seconds while an enemy is grasped. After. Whenever a player kills a grasped enemy, their current weapon reloads. So this is a team sharing stuff. Weapon damage is 10%, 8-second duration. The Eternal Fist. Amara summons a giant fist that bursts from the ground and locks the targeted enemy in place for a few seconds. Whenever a grasped enemy is killed, up to 3 new targets can be sought out and grasped. Bonus targets is up to 4. Jesus. Fucking Christ. Whenever an enemy is grasped. So this is like a seeking grasp missile, I'm assuming. Like I like it. Indiscriminate. Amara's... Okay, so if you don't know anything about me, we're going to take a minute. So Ricochet is basically the skill in Gage the Necromancer's tree that makes her the best character to speedrun. It's why she's the fastest. Because that skill in particular lets you aimbot on enemies by just spamming bullets. So I like it when I see Ricochet. Indiscriminate. Also, if you got to this point in the video, can you type like reflection LOL in the comments? Indiscriminate. Mars bullets that damage enemies have a chance to ricochet and deal decreased damage to nearby enemies. Ricochet chance and damage are increased if the target is Phasegrasp or hit with stillness of mind. Ricochet damage 10%, ricochet chance 10%, ricochet damage 50, action skill ricochet 20, action skill damage ricochet 25. So this stacks up to 3 times, so I'm assuming 10%, 60%, and then the damage will the damage will improve on the ricochet. So I like indiscriminate. Deep Well. Amara gains a magazine size increase with all elemental weapons, 20% mag size. Catharsis. Whenever Amara triggers an elemental effect on an enemy, the enemy dies, they explode, dealing her attuned element damage along with any other element damage that is currently inflicted upon that enemy. The skill has a very short cooldown. Elemental explosions, and if you have them covered in 3 things, it's dealing all the types of damage at the same time. I can't decide which one of these trees I want to go with first. Ties that bind. Amara summons a giant fist that bursts from the ground. Giant fist that bursts from the ground and locks enemies in place for a few seconds. Enemies near the grasped target are linked. Damage is shared between the target and all linked targets. Conflux. Whenever Amara applies an elemental effect damage, she gains a chance to randomly electrocute, burn, or melt that enemy. God damn it. Sustainment. Amara gains lifesteal whenever she deals elemental damage with her weapon. What the fuck? So I don't know if this is lifesteal based on element damage or base damage, but it looks, I mean, just that 4% looks really strong, and it stacks to 5. Jesus, this is awesome. Fist over matter. Amara summons a giant fist that bursts from the ground and locks target and enemy in place for a few seconds after grasping the target. The fists appear and constantly smash the area, dealing damage to nearby enemies. Okay, so you do this. All right. You do that with this. So you pull all the enemies together, and then they get punched to death, and then they explode, dealing damage, and you get life back while they're being randomly electrocuted. just to break down the mechanics. Forceful expression. Amara'S guns deal bonus elemental damage based on her action skill element. Bonus elemental damage is 11% of damage dealt. Amara'S gun deal bonus based on her action element. Next rank. Okay. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. Okay. So this ties in. This ties in with where was the other one? Where was the other part? Did I see it now? Fucking no. She has so much stuff locked to her elemental damage here. Oh, random effect. So 11% of all damage dealt, so you're gonna max your action skill tree with forceful expression. This is one of the most insane. Oh, this is it. Portion of damage dealt by enemies. So you have this. You have infusion. And then on top of that, you have forceful expression. So we're talking about bonus damage coming from all. I'm trying to wrap my head around this. I'm trying to figure out how high this damage is going to stack. But essentially, if you are in the Phasegrasp tree, it doesn't matter what kind of gun you're using. You're always going to be dealing at least one type of elemental damage, if not up to like 3 or all of them. So if you are the kind of player that doesn't want to worry about what element am I supposed to use, you can just go ahead and use Amara and be like, I'll use all of them at the same time. This is awesome, dude. I'm excited. This of all the trees, this is the one that seems the most gun focused. Which I think is really cool. It's gun and damage over time focus, which is really interesting. All the other trees seem really powerful on the face of it, but we're used to, as Borderlands players, is like the hidden skills. You know, the trees you don't expect end up being the most powerful. So I'm really excited about this one too. So yeah, this is the Phasegrasp tree, man, and it is fucking sick, and I love it. Thank you for watching today. I'm so excited to kind of covered all of Amara'S skill trees with you. I will do my best to get a hold of the Zane trees as well that I can, because I feel like, you know, those are important too, I guess. But for now, thank you for watching. Thank you for being cool. As always, if you like this, please share it with a friend. If you don't like this, whatever. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye, everybody.